Grant Dania now.
It's Grant Dania.
The gold lady this year. Oh my God, it's Grant Dania.
And our mom, Shezzy Dania. She's really crazy.
It's all true.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shezzy Denya.
And the good news is, Australia, George's moustache is taking a life of its own, and oh my God, it's looking glorious.
Very porn star.
Very porn star, yes. Very ranger, very thick. It's not patchy, it's not seedy. It's looking quite nice under the new lighting I've got here in the studio too. I've invested about $40,000 worth of lighting just to make this singular mo look good for this very podcast.
Not seedy? Are you sure not seedy?
Well, I mean, in my eyes, it's not seedy. It was seedier. I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
True.
It was looking pretty rank.
I like it.
I don't know, mate. If I see you in a park and you're wearing a trench coat, I know what's happening next, mate. Your wang's coming out. Like
I was thinking he was going to offer some lollies.
No, mate. No, he's got full Flasher vibes going on at the moment with that mo.
Well,
but the thing is, people have actually started.
Is there a missing patch?
I think there is a little missing patch, just sort of like below your right nostril. Do you see that?
On this side here?
Yeah, not quite in the corner of the mouth, but a bit closer to the middle of right there, there.
You're right. It's like it kind of has been mowed by a mini mower just about there, and then it continues along. I've just noticed that. Thank you for that, and I am going to
colour it in. That's what I do with my eyebrows.
I love post-production.
That's what I do with my eyebrows.
Do you come here for all your personal gratification needs and your self-confidence boosting? Like, because you have come to the right place.
That's exactly right. I recommend anybody to come here for a pick-me-up.
Yeah, don't you reckon? Look how grown up he is now.
You do look like you've got your big boy pants on.
Yeah.
And for those of us who are watching along at YouTube, and if you're new to the podcast, we are also on YouTube. You can watch the video and you can see in full detail every follicle glistening in the sunshine. And I've just realised, weird coincidence. However, Shezzy said porn star Mo. We're now officially on OnlyFans. Is this the link with this moustache? Have you gone full 70s porno spec just for OnlyFans?
I didn't think about it until this very conversation we're having now, but it just seems right. Why don't I just get all my gear off on OnlyFans, throw everything away and just start a whole new life?
You are right.
Oh, my gosh.
You are
That's
right.
so true.
I heard someone on the other day, I was on Instagram, and someone was declaring that they were making $150,000 a month.
What?
Yep.
No.
And then since they started doing little TikTok videos pointing to their OnlyFans account, it's now $300,000 a month.
Oh my God.
This is
We
insane.
need to find out about this. This is okay. So today we've got a guest. He is somebody who we've been saying for weeks we should get him on. He is on OnlyFans. Let's bring him in because he's been sitting in our waiting room. Wonder what it's like in our waiting room. Wonder if there's snacks.
I think there'd be a sticky couch just quietly, judging by George's mo. He's one of Australia's... Here he is. I'll save my intro for when he's now online so he can hear it. Christian Hull's just figuring how to connect his camera.
I'm not figuring out. Why doesn't it automatically connect? This is bullshit.
Okay.
Hi.
He's now in the flesh, ladies and gentlemen, one of Australia's greatest social media superstars. It is Christian Hall!
Hey! One applause.
I am so nervous / excited about chatting with you today because I'm really concerned we're going to end up putting a lot of content on our OnlyFans page after we talk to you.
1,000%.
Yeah.
But I'm also so excited because I absolutely love you and the fact that you just swear all the time and you just own it.
Okay.
That's it. It's the only thing we know you for, swearing.
No, I just love that. Welcome to It's All True.
We are recording, by the way. We legally have to tell you. I know we've just let you in from our waiting room.
Legally
but we
have to tell me. I mean, there's microphones in front of all of our faces. Like, it'd be pretty weird if I was like, I can't believe this conversation was recorded.
Well, that is
I
true.
am disappointed you're both wearing clothes.
Oh, well.
So far.
Well, yeah, we haven't got all the tips yet. And,
Here he goes.
whee!
Buttons are
Taking my top
coming
off.
undone. How are you, great man? Just to give everyone a background, we've sort of crossed paths in our radio lives. Was probably our first place. I was watching you and admiring you on Instagram for a long time because you're as funny as hell. But to now have you on our podcast is amazing because we are launching into the OnlyFans area. I think we have
This is shocking to me.
Why do you say that?
Actually, you know what? It's actually... Okay, so I know you hate this because I think we're like the same age, but growing up, you were all over the TV. So I've grown up watching you, even though, again, I think we're basically the same age. And you're always like it's family friendly, Grant Denya. But then when we worked together, I was like, oh, it's definitely not family friendly, Grant Denya. And then I met your beautiful wife, Chezzy. Oh, wow. Like
Definitely
both,
not family friendly.
No, and I love it. It's like this whole new thing. And then when you messaged me to be like, oh, we might be going on OnlyFans, I was like, I think they might actually be doing this.
Yeah. Well,
Look, you're a vastly experienced broadcaster, right? What sent you down the OnlyFans rabbit hole?
Well, look, so body confidence was the main thing. So initially I saw, I am a dirty whore and I have been like for my whole life, but it's like on my podcast, I'm very open about all the sexual encounters and experiences that I've had in various parklands across Australia. But it never sort of made its way into Facebook and YouTube. So people are a little bit shocked about how slutty I am. And OnlyFans was always something I was like, God, I want to do that. But like, I think it might be detrimental to like the, who's a funny fat comedian? Like I thought it might be a bad idea. Right. So, I've been wanting to do it for about 2 years, and then I'm quite shy. Like I'm 110 kilos and 4 foot tall, so I'm like a little snowman. But I saw Sam Smith make a post, and Sam was wearing almost nothing. And a lot of people were saying just really negative things. Now, Sam's, look, realistically, for Hollywood, yeah, a little bit. I mean, you wouldn't say plus size, but in the world of Hollywood, bit bigger. In any normal world, just like dad bod, really. But so many trolls went for Sam, and I was at a point where I was quite comfortable. Like I was rocking a pair of budgie smugglers around and letting everything hang out, and went, I might just take a photo of myself looking, my skimpy outfit. And it went off. Like so many comments, so much body positivity. And I was like, oh, maybe I use this to launch OnlyFans. Yeah. Because it was such a positive reaction I got for sort of letting almost everything loose. And so I started OnlyFans. It's a free account. And I just got on it and I was like, right, I'm going to post nudes. So if you want to see them, they're over there. And then I think I've been on it now for 2 months and I've got 6,000 people over there. And initially it was just to be like, the confidence it gives you. Like,
really?
I got on. Oh my God. Because so for me, this is from my perspective, it's a space where people are going to OnlyFans for nudes. That's what they're there for. So there's nothing unexpected when your nudes pop up. Yeah. And usually they're going because they want to see them. And so the audience there. It's not a Facebook audience. Like, oh, I don't want to see that shoved in my face. Yeah. No, they're paying to see it shoved in their face, literally. So the feedback was so positive, and I'd never had so much positivity around my body before. I'd never really exposed myself on this level. And then it just snowballed, and I was like, oh, there's something in this. Maybe I start, because it's a free account. So you can pay a monthly subscription, or you can just give the content away for free. And I was giving it away for free, still am, because what it did for me, my view of my body, my view of myself is more than therapy or anything could ever do. Like I look in the mirror and go, oh, fuck, I'm hot. Like, oh, it would do me so hard right now. Where before I just wouldn't do that. And so I feel so sexy and I feel just so confident. And I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I thought, well, I might just up the ante and do some like really explicit content. But you can hide it behind a paywall. So people will pay X amount of dollars to watch a video of you, you know,
using
do whatever.
your dick as a wristwatch or something.
Oh, if only it was that long. Okay. Well, we know what you're going to be doing. We know what the Skype first post is. And so in the last 2 weeks, I've made $4,000.
Oh my God. Yes.
That's 3 videos. That's all.
Get stuffed from 3 videos.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 3 videos jerking off. I made $4,000 just jerking off. Like, like living my dream.
That is so...
That's how long have you been on that? 2 months. That's a fairly rapid acceleration in content type from considering maybe showing yourself in bungee smugglers, maybe going to a nude, straight to wanking.
Yeah. Well, that's the confidence it gave me. I was like, oh, I might just upload some skimpy photos. I might get my dick out. And then that'll be, then it'll be it. And it'll just be a place where I can flaunt, my man boobs. And then I was like, oh, the DMs I was getting.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Like, I'm going next week. I'm flying to Adelaide because I had this really attractive guy. This I could be murdered here. Offered to take some. He's a photographer, and he was like, "Do you want me to take some like professional nudes of you?" And I was like, "Yes." So I'm going to do my first like nude shoot where and he doesn't want his face in it, but he's getting involved. So like.
Wow.
I don't know how explicit I can be on this podcast, but
it's a double hander. It's a 2-man show.
That's docking. Remember we spoke about docking? Yeah, that was pretty wrong.
Yes. Actually, that's something I never thought I could do. I'd do docking and then charge for that.
Can you just do me a favour though? Can you just send me old mate's details before you go in, just in case we don't hear from you?
Because we need to come and rescue you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just the address.
Just
and the name.
screenshot the outside of his house, whatever. Just so there's some level of protection where we can come and find you and rescue you in case you just kept under the house in the cellar or something.
Yeah.
Look, I've got so many questions and I don't know where to start. So I love the whole body positivity thing.
I didn't expect that to be an outcome.
And I think that is so beautiful because, of course, people aren't going there to troll you. They're not going to waste their time.
It's not like Twitter. It's not like a cesspool of negativity and hate.
No.
It's the opposite.
But what I want to know is how do you then how do you talk to your mum about
I haven't.
it? Right.
She knows. Like,
Does she listen to this podcast?
Your Complete Drivel is the podcast that you have. So she knows that you're doing this, right? But you don't.
She
talk
doesn't
to her about
listen to the podcast. I've told her just don't, and she's like, okay. But she consumes all of my other content. And I mean, I have spoken about it. I mean, I think to some level she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
But Mum, it's funny because so initially my initial concerns were, oh my God, what if my friend, what do I do with the people that I know? What if people are really like, I can't believe you're doing this, like, oh, you're selling your body, and I got none of that. Now I am of course speaking from a gay cis white man, and the experience might be different for the two of you, or definitely for women. But my experience was, I was shocked at how zero. I have not had one message or one comment be disgusted or appalled.
That's amazing.
That is
incredible. So you are just flying high.
Yeah. I did get a friend message me. It was a bit awkward. So a really good friend messaged me that I went to school with to be like, oh, our family WhatsApp group is sharing your nudes. And I was like, I don't want to know that. Like,
what does Nana think?
Oh, see, that's the thing that I remember. We got into a taxi one time and the person was talking about the video that they had seen on OnlyFans of Renee Gracie. I remember we'd had her on the podcast and they were talking about that it had been screenshot or something and sent around, and she had a problem. That'll happen.
With it. Yeah, you have to, when you do this, you have to be okay with your worst fears happening. For example, someone being an asshole and sending this to my parents or to my family unsolicited. It's a possibility, and if it happens, you sort of have to be prepared for that. But my family know how much of it. They know I'm a dirty whore. Like, they know.
I would never have described you as a dirty whore. You're the one of the nicest, sweetest, most thoughtful, compassionate.
Yeah.
And then you flick a switch. Yeah.
Straight to dirty whore mode.
That's not
This is
how
why
I
I'm
would
so
describe it.
excited for my journey on OnlyFans is because, like, I'm up for pretty much anything. I mean, there are a few things that I probably wouldn't do, but and to be able to share those experiences. Like, I love sharing my life. Like, I'm an oversharer. It's all on Instagram. It's all on Facebook. And then this is just a whole nother side of me that that I love. Like, I just put dicks in my mouth. I love it.
Oh my God, we have to bring George in here. Our co-host George is 21. We're teaching him about the world, and
I'm learning plenty at the moment
Sorry,
right
George.
now. Thank you, Christian.
He's like our
Should
pet
go on my
project.
OnlyFans for research purposes. Should all. Actually, everyone should. Research.
so we were thinking about putting pictures of feet up.
And we want to start entry level, right?
Yeah.
We're a husband and wife. We are a mum and dad. We're members of the television community. We have to we have to toe in the water, so to speak. So we're thinking
you
of
do.
actually just using toes to get ourselves in the water. So what? Yeah, what?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things so your email was like, we're just going to do feet pics.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, that's such a niche to go in with.
Yeah.
Right.
Not everyone loves feet. Not everyone's willing to pay for feet. You can make a shitload of money from it. But it's a good way to, if you're unsure, it's a good way to get in and suss out what the deal, how to post, what the routine is, what the feedback is like. There's a website. So I did some research for you. I think if you're going to do it and you're going to do it seriously, you do OnlyFans, and you also go on a website called Fun with Feet. If you're only going to do feet pics, you should go to where that niche is at its best. And that's like specific feet websites. So if you want to make money, go to the niche websites. So
And what kind of things do we have to do with the feet? Like Fun with Feet. Do we have to have the feet in very weird situations?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like it. So the thing is, if you're only going to do feet pics, you're really limiting yourself. Like, you literally will have to do you stepping in cake at some point, or
I
covering
see.
yourself in whipped cream and, maybe licking it off. But it depends if you don't want your face in there. So
Look at George's face; he's lost it. Because we were going to make George do some of this stuff. Because
Yeah. we just a foot next to George's new moustache, just to sort of.
he's grown a bit of a porno moustache here. He's
yeah, I
trying.
like it. I just quite like it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the combination of the CDMO and the feet and the cake is something I just do on my weekend anyway. So.
But can you lick your own toe? Can you put your own toe in your own mouth?
It's pretty hot.
Wow.
So-
If you could do that, you'll be making a fortune.
I'm not that flexible, but I'll give it a go.
Maybe we start with feet, but maybe we progress from then on. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's just our entry point for experimentation, but then we evolve into something like, I don't know, elbow skin, or you know what I
my
mean?
God. I'm not keen. I just found out last night, one of my kids said when I was walking to the shower that I have a big pimple on my bottom, and that's really embarrassing.
Is there a category for that?
I am not willing to
Yes.
put my butt out there. With,
So here's the thing. Here's my advice to you if you're going to do OnlyFans. That so many people love you and want to hear from you, and a great place for you to start is to share your intimate stories. You don't have to. You don't just have to. The thing with a lot of accounts is they're like, me nude with no caption, boring. I don't want that. I want stories. I want insights. I share. I write like full on, 1,000-word stories of the first time I had sex or going and doing things, and they get a lot of attention. And then you build up this persona, and you really explicit in a variety of ways. It's not just here's a nude, here's another nude. Like, you've got to, because so many people know you, you have a family, it'd be interesting for you to write about what your sex lives are like, what you enjoy doing. You don't actually have to post anything. Like, you're already laughing, but that's...
I am laughing because we're sleeping in separate beds at the moment because we've
Yeah.
had a...
We've had a week of
as it should
illnesses. Yeah, what a hot story that'd be. Well, night one, the kids vomited all over the floor, so Dad decided, I'm out of here. I'm going to sleep in the other room so I don't get sick. And 6 days later, still hasn't returned.
But I think, like, you joke that's. I mean, you've got to put some sort of sexual.
Well, because I'm
something.
yeah.
In it,
Who are these
something
people
juicy.
who are on OnlyFans? Like, are they all a bit pervy, or are they normal?
So you're going to have pervy people, but you're
Yeah.
going to have, like, the way you talk about it and promote it, it's going to be all of your fans anyway. So there's no point in trying to be a porn star because you're not porn stars.
Yeah.
So you're not foot models. You don't have experience in this. So it's, where do you have experience? I have experience in, well, just my life stories. So I'm sharing all of those. I'm taking people on it. Like, you can do polls. You can do, well, not like that, but like, what do you want to see? So you can really involve the audience. And I think a lot of OnlyFans accounts are literally just, I went to the gym, here's me in the shower. And it gets so boring. And, you know, you only subscribe for a short amount of time.
So you can set the audience challenges to help them, and they can get creative in offering suggestions on how they'd like to see you.
Yeah, you can say, what do you want? Do you want, you know, I've done something. Yeah. They're pretty full on. You know, what size do you want to see me attempt to? But you don't have to be so explicit. Like, I think the explicit part is the scary part. It's like, okay, well, if you're going, you know, the full gamut, you especially the two of you, you'll have every media outlet writing about it, and it will be very daunting. So
They've never written anything like awful about us, so I wouldn't know what that would feel like.
They only ever write awful stuff about us. What are you talking
that's
about?
what I'm saying. They've never written anything, you know, that's sensationalized.
Oh no, not at all.
Oh no, God, no.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, I think people are actually disappointed when they meet us. They're like, oh,
Fuck, you guys are boring.
yeah.
Yes, it's not what I've read. Yeah,
Exactly.
but yes, yeah. But I think feet and. I mean, it's going to sound funny, but you should just go on and subscribe and see what other people are doing. And you can see their engagement and what they post and what you like. And
Should I do that on the family computer, mate? Like,
oh my God.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No, just do it on your phone. You can do everything off your phone.
Well, it all uploads to our family iCloud
Or
account.
children.
oh Jesus, we've had that.
forget.
We've had that
Oh,
issue
no.
before, mate. We've got, we're on the same sort of joint iCloud account. So I've sent Chezzy some pretty saucy messages at one point, and then my daughter wrote back going, "Oh, that's lovely, Dad. Thank you so much for sending that through." I was like, "Oh my God, Jesus, that's a miscommunication."
He sent her something like, you know, with a couple of eggplant emojis, and then she wrote back, and like she had like a unicorn, rainbow, and eggplant emoji. Like,
Oh, mate, I was like, "Oh, Jesus."
It's like having kids. How are you feeling, George?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty fine about all this. I love the reason Christian's gone into it. I'm looking forward to our very own OnlyFans journey. I'd like to know, though, Christian, would there be a market in us doing, you know, an episode sort of off the air of the podcast, like the things that don't make the podcast, what our life is like when the mics are turned off?
Because wasn't that the original idea of OnlyFans? Was basically to give fans a behind-the-scenes look at your life the other wouldn't see. Excuse me, I forgot how to
Wow,
speak.
you guys have a podcast.
Yes, like unfiltered content.
Yeah, would that work, or people only go on there just for the nudies?
So, good question.
Because Roxy Jasenko had a thing where she was just giving people content where she's, I don't know, everything.
Here's me washing my Porsche. Were you watching?
Oh yeah, in my white t-shirt or something like that. I think men just go on there just for, for a cheeky 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
So the only accounts that you're looking at and following are just other like-minded content creators. So you're not looking at anything else.
I've got a bit of everything. So I've got I really like the ones that are a little bit more passionate and sort of sensual in their content. And then I do have ones that are just like, that's it.
So
Is it basically pay for porn?
Yeah, this is a really good question. If porn is basically free these days, why would you go to OnlyFans and pay?
Because it's a lot more personal. So there's certain, there's porn like, I'm here to fix the plumbing. And you're like, okay, that's boring though. I hate that.
That's how I met Shezzy. Shut up.
I came in to fix your pipe. You've got a blockage.
It's more amateur. So it's people that, they're bringing you into their home. They're real, it's real. It's not fake.
Yeah, it's not staged.
Right.
There's not like a crew of 15 standing behind there with lighting teams and professionals just paid to do it, even though they don't really want to do it, sort of thing. It's people who are genuinely engaged.
How do you have the time? Like, you are all over TikTok. You've got how many, millions of people following you from God knows where. You're all over, and it's all different content. How do you have the time?
Look, I am in the middle of a crisis where it's, you spread yourself too thin. You do too much. You're not doing anything successfully. So I'm at a point now where sort of the only real enjoyment I'm getting is from doing OnlyFans stuff. And we've stepped up on the podcast. So I've joined a podcast platform. I've been given producers and I'm really enjoying that. At the moment, running a merch business, doing comedy videos or a tour, I'm just like, I hate it at the moment.
Yeah, right.
But,
think about how far you've come, though, where you were in the producing sort of social media game for radio stations and big radio stations as well, and then going, you know what, I'm going to branch out on my own. And then you just sort of cut your ties with the industry and just became your own entity. I'm sure starting from scratch and then building it all the way up. So it's been an incredible journey.
Yeah, it is interesting because sometimes, I'm sure you find this, you feel like you're in a slump, but it's not until you sort of stand back and go, well, hang on, look at all the things I've done, especially you with your Dancing with the Stars trophy right behind you. Like you've done...
Sorry, I didn't notice you. That...
Strategically
who put that there?
Where's the Logie?
It's right below the Logie.
Oh, there it is. The Logie gets its own shelf.
It does.
Of course it does. But you look back and you think, oh, God, actually, I've done a lot. This is roller coaster. It's just going to go up and down and mostly up, hopefully. It's just for OnlyFans.
But I think, when I first met you, I don't quite know how to dance around this. When I first met you, you had been working... help me out here. I don't want to throw...
Didn't we meet at Channel 10?
No.
Is that when we first met?
No, we first met
in a radio
station. And I think you had been sort of a bit bullied by somebody who bullied Grant. And can I not say that?
I think at various times in our career, we've both been in situations where we've had to work with people that we did not like and that weren't very nice to us.
Yeah, and I just remember meeting you and thinking what a beautiful, sensitive, accommodating, gorgeous personality you were.
Thank you.
No, and you were, and
Because it broke our heart when we found out that you'd had a rough experience at one point in your career. And and that's hard, and especially when you're just kind of starting out, and you worked really, really hard. You're very talented
at trying to help other people get their content, up to scratch.
Look, it teaches you a lot. I mean, when you put in situations like that, and ultimately, it was a great lesson in just how to, I guess. It's really hard to talk about, isn't it?
It is.
It just builds resilience, and you go, okay, this is how I want to treat other people because I don't want to be treated like this. So
I think that's fair to say. I think growing up in the media, I certainly watched others that were much bigger and more famous than me as I was coming up through the ranks, and I watched them behave and go, gee, that is ugly. I will never be like that, or I'll never treat a person like that. So
yeah, it's also, I think, you probably would have seen some shit in TV. It's getting to a level like where you're so it's not superior is the wrong word. You're just a key figure in that station or that channel, and you're under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure, but you personally need to go, okay, I am this in this role where I physically have to say no to things, because otherwise I'm going to turn into a monster. It's going to be too overwhelming. It's going to be too much. So I definitely learnt that when the pressure's on, you have to be really clear, and you just have to, unfortunately, have some hard conversations and be like, look, I actually don't have time for that. Don't take this personally. I can't do that right now. And people will never understand, because they're like, oh, all you do is make, you get naked and make OnlyFans content and do a podcast. How hard can it be? But you've got so much going on. You've got, all these people wanting so much of you through emails. Oh God, you're so contactable. Every platform has a private DM service, and then you got texting and emails and phone calls and constant meetings. And it's the hardest part for me was trying to manage all the points of contact. So I just don't reply to anyone who sends me messages on Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp. Yeah, because I'm like, I can't. Otherwise your whole day is spent being like, I can't.
Yeah, you can't reply to everyone. I can always tell what a person's true personality is like by how they treat the people, like in TV. When we used to have guests come in and they would talk to the makeup artists or the security guards like absolute dirt. And I would always think to myself, yeah, well, you're a piece of shit. And
yeah, that always boggles my mind, because in my view, like, I want to be respectful of everyone, but I'm literally like, if I'm rude to this person, the next person they're going to see is the star, and they're just going to say that I'm a piece of shit. So it's also like, how stupid is it? These people are like the backbone of the shows.
Yeah.
They're the spine. They're everything. Why would you be such a piece of shit to them?
But the makeup artist.
Be a decent.
The makeup artist is always a barometer, right?
Yeah.
Because the real pieces of work would just would treat them with such contempt, and then they'd walk out on set, and then they go, okay, we're on in 3, 2, 1, and the red light comes on, and then they're Mr. or Mrs. Charming, right?
Yes.
Hilarious, knocking out the gags and being so warm and hugging the hosts, and being so generous. And then you thought, wow, that is. Jesus, that's ugly.
And I saw some really and they weren't even massive stars, some of them, and they would just talk like absolute shit to people who I felt didn't deserve it. One thing I do have to say though, Shannon Knoll was so lovely. I pretended, remember, I couldn't find a makeup artist. It was before the live concert for Sunrise, and I couldn't find a makeup artist anywhere, and he had a pimple on his chin. And so I went, I'll fix that up for you. So I used Nat Bar's concealer and put it on his pimple, and then tried to like pat it in, and it was so white. Then it looked white. So then I tried to use Koshi's bronzer and put that on, and I made an absolute mess. And I said to him, because the floor manager came down, he goes, all right, come on, we're on. And I was like, there'll be somebody out there, they'll fix it for you. And he was like, that's fine. It's all good. And looked terrible. And
he looked like he had a skin disease. Like part of his face was completely different colour to the rest of his face.
So bad.
It had like it overemphasised it.
Yeah, it's like you just may as well got a red Sharpie and circled it. It would have been less.
Drawn a big arrow going, this is the head of the pimple here.
It was so bad. And he was so nice. And he walked out, and I just remember they were like, what is on your chin?
Yeah, because there's been some people who Slash from Guns N' Roses, the loveliest guest we had when Dan and Maz, I was working on Dan and Maz, which is the Drive show. I was filming for them. I was hiding in a corner. I had all the cameras set up, and it's Slash, so you got just hide away, just be invisible. And he walks in, and we're all rolling, and he shakes everyone's hand, all the producers, everyone's there, and then he sits down, and as he starts the interview, he realizes I'm in the corner. He's like, oh, so sorry. And he gets up. It's like, I didn't see you there. I'm Slash. And I was just like, it was so lovely. But then on the other hand, you had someone else, an Australian.
Do it.
No. We don't need to throw anyone under the bus. We'll let all our...
Well, they're throwing themselves under the bus right now with... anyways, they've come back into the zeitgeist. She walks in and was the biggest see you next Tuesday I've ever experienced. Walked in. I was working on the Today FM breakfast show at the time, and I'd agreed to stay back late to film. And she came in to be a guest for Rove and Sam, which was like a pre-recorded afternoon slot, and walked in with a posse of like 6 or 7 people, and just walked straight in the studio past me. Her 2 minders walked in, sat down, and she sat down and just said, "Water." And I was like, I was plugging in headphones, and I was like, oh, she's talking to her people, obviously. And no eye contact was made. "Water." And I was like looking at them, and they were on their phones, and I was like, oh God, what do I do? And she's like, "I need water." So I went out. There was a fridge outside, and I got some water. There was a bottle of water, and I just sort of, leant over and handed it to her, and she didn't take it. And I was like, here you go. Like, all right. And so I put it, sort of like, had to push it into her hand. Like, here you go. And I was just like, "You're welcome." And then the interview happened, and just walked straight out. And I was just like, when I tell you off air who this was, you'll be like, they're not even famous. Who the fuck are they?
But
you know them.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what a piece of shit. And that has stuck with me. And the other encounter I had, and it wasn't their fault, it was Good Charlotte. They just come off like a 24-hour flight from LA. Yeah. And they weren't rude. They were just a bit grumpy. And so they walked in, and I was terrified. And I did have a camera right in their face. And as the interview was about to start, and I sort of had this camera set up, they just grabbed it and pushed it down and were like, "Nope." Okay. And so I left the studio. But like I gave them a pass because they had just come from the airport, and I couldn't think of anything worse than doing press straight from a flight.
They would have had a few scotches on the other end, in the
Yeah.
first class lounge.
Absolutely.
But still, acting like an absolute diva. Oh my God, I've got lots and lots of stories. I remember I met Bette Midler, right? Now, have to be one of the most well-known, biggest names in the world. Was beautiful. Even put a hand on my shoulder. Like, was so nice,
Sweetheart.
so lovely. Yeah. Asked me about how my day was. I couldn't speak. I was like 20, whatever it was, 24. And
Wow.
And the other thing, like, I was such an idiot. And then the other, who was the band who was playing? Do you remember? And they were really big, and they came, and I was running. I used to run everywhere because I had about 47 jobs
This is
at Sunrise.
Yeah.
And I was running past the window, and I tripped, right? And it's all in the background of them playing. And the lead singer, when they finished, came out to check if I was okay. Who was that? It was like a massive rock band.
I can't remember.
Like, checking, like, not being gross and sleazy. Was like, it looked like you landed really hard on your knee. Was it Green Day? No.
Could have been.
It was someone really big, yeah. And I was like, that's so nice. And yet, I have also had people, was an ex-Australian Idol person, I think. I don't know how to say this without, but anyway.
Osher Ginsburg.
No. No, it was a female, and just basically said, "Do you have a lighter?" And I said, "Oh, you can't smoke in here." And she said, "I'll do what I like." And I was like,
Inside the building.
yeah. I was like, "Oh, you can't smoke in here." Again,
It's a $5,000 call-out fee.
I didn't even know what it was
Exactly.
then, but I was like, we can't even, I remember I said, "We can't even cook on a grill because I'm doing a cooking segment next," and they won't even let me cook on the grill.
We have to pretend with cold snags and make the sizzle sound. Oh, it's so delicious.
So we had to cook outside, remember? Because
That's
then
right.
it was part of my producing job.
Was this when it was in East
In Martin
Eastwood or around
Place.
Epping?
No, Martin Place. Because I remember I always had to clean the barbecue after the cooking segment, and people would say, "Oh, you're a producer. It's so glamorous." And I'm like, yeah.
Are they kidding?
Yeah.
Literally the worst job. I
Yeah.
hated producing.
Yeah, it is. You've just got to do everything.
Lowest pay, and you get no freebies, and you watch people get freebies, and then they just take them and give them. Yeah, I was really jealous by that.
Yes. Except once Grant asked me to open up his mail because we used to share a desk. This was before we started dating. And Grant said, "Oh, can you just open up my mail? I won't be back for,
I was on the road constantly, so I was never around
Yeah.
to do it.
And he goes, if there's anything in there, any goodies or anything, you can like take it home. And I was like, really? Oh my God. And I knew that the week before they'd sent Samsonite luggage and they'd sent him all this really cool stuff. So I was like, oh,
Shit.
So I've
No
opened up.
no wonder I never received anything for years. I thought I was so unpopular.
I know,
for not
'cause-
receiving anything, and you were taking it all.
No, I didn't
taken
take the Samsonite. No, because it was all left under the desk, remember, and Grant would come back from being on the road and people would have pilfered it. But
Yeah.
it was never me. Because
Everyone in the office just steal it.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I knew that they had cameras.
Oh.
Remember?
smart.
Yeah. Anyway, so I've opened up this mail and I'm like, oh, is this going to be really cool? Maybe I might get a CD or something. And I've opened up and it was a lady's pair of used undies.
Oh!
Do you remember I told you this?
Actually, I do remember this story.
And I was like, and it had this 3-page handwritten letter saying I've had the biggest crush on you for years. I'm like twice your age, but I know that we could be together. And it was somebody I think who had been well known to you, like had been a bit of a stalker.
Oh, this is one we had to
I was on the
do
have
not
the
answer list.
authorities involved.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
We had to sort of take that to
Whoa.
the next level, that one.
And so these were a pair of dirty undies. And I was so horrified.
See, now she'd be
Mortified.
paid a fortune on OnlyFans
Well, I was
for
just
that
going
shit.
to say, what? That's something you could do. You can sell your socks, and you can also. I know a woman that makes $44,000 a year just as an offside selling her underwear. So men put requests in like, I want you to wear it to the gym and urinate in it, and then she puts it in a Ziploc bag and posts it off to them, and they pay a fortune.
This is insane. You're right. And to
my
add
God.
another detail, I know a girl. Well, I don't know this girl, but I know the story of this girl who makes a shitload of money just farting into jars and selling her farts to people,
You
and
are-
she just posts them to them.
No, you
I'm
are-
not joking,
Farting into jars.
mate. Makes a killing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a thing. The fetishes can make you a lot of money. Like feet can make you a lot of money if you're really good and consistent. I'm venturing into selling things.
Undies.
Yeah, but
Yeah, used.
Okay.
But I-
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
but as something they're used for a purpose.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
After a week or two, and then I'm going to sell them. I'm going to see if I can make any money.
For a purpose. Sifting tea leaves out. You're using them as a tea strainer.
Do you ever think that maybe you might meet
sort of.
one of these people though because we meet people all the time. We met actually someone 2 days ago and they were that excited that they'd seen Grant and they came up and they're like, Sean Denver, I'm a massive fan, Sean Denver.
On
It's like,
Sunday.
yeah.
Yes, I get. Oh, you're the guy from TikTok, and they have no idea who I am. They don't know my name. But that's fine. I
But
never know
imagine if
anyone.
they go, hey, I've got a pair of your undies at home and I like, does that
I
creep
would
you out?
love that.
Oh, would
I
you?
get messages for people to hook up, and I'm like, yeah, where do you live? But yes,
Oh my God.
Be there in 5.
So if
Yeah.
George is single, right? Oh, George is shaking his head. He's like, don't bring me into this. George
Oh,
is
well,
single.
actually, this is awkward. I'm not single. What a way to bring it up on the podcast.
Hang on. This is just news just in.
Clap.
Yeah, Christian, I mean, if you follow the podcast, the past 7 seasons, it's been about me being single, but I haven't even brought to the table that I'm taken now.
Oh my God. Well, how does your
Whoa.
blow up doll Cherie feel about this?
I had to bin her. She's gone.
No, why did you put a pin in
feel
her?
deflated.
Poked a few more holes in it and like, there, see you later.
Oh, no.
Well, wouldn't be the first time, that's for sure.
Oh, stop. I'm talking about doing a merchandise like blow up doll for Cherie.
We were pretty much getting ready to prostitute you out, brother, and now you're off the market. You've screwed our financial plan.
Just delete this. Just beep out this audio, and then just play the charade of you're single.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You're going to have to.
We can pretend that this was recorded before I was taken,
You know what?
even though she's in the room next door right now
been-
listening to this.
Is she?
Is she really?
Oh my God. You're going to have to bring her in.
I've hijacked Christian's interview. Let's move on.
Oh, poor Chris. I really like having you here, Christian. You're like I did say to him that we'd only use up 20 minutes of his time, so we probably should let
I've
poor
got
Christian go.
literally nothing else to do.
Okay,
You
great.
just told us how
Well,
friggin' busy you are. Don't
I
lie to
know,
us.
But he's loving it. I can tell.
No, procrastinating.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Okay,
we're
so-
already 2 months in.
Can we meet her? Can you bring her in? Can you go and get her and bring her in? Is that a bit full on?
You can't
look,
put that pressure on him.
Yeah, okay,
that's not
fair
fair.
enough.
We won't do it just now. Yeah, I only
Okay.
got one microphone. Yeah, I'll get a
Okay.
second microphone set up for the meeting for sure.
Oh my
Share a
God.
microphone. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this
got-
is pretty.
So polite.
You got to.
Hey, do you reckon we
Okay,
could
alright.
sell our pop socks? Like take them off and sell them
Hey.
to really hardcore listeners. They got our breath on them.
Oh, mind you,
Oh, yuck!
Bit of
The
spit
microphone
on it.
cover.
the amount of spit on mine. That
You could
probably
though.
would.
Look, people will pay for anything. It's just how you market it and how you.
Where do you think you're going to end up? Because we know where you are 2 months in. Where do you reckon? What's the end goal? What do you think you'll be doing in a year?
What do I want to be doing? So the goal this year is I want to make 10K a month on OnlyFans. That's what I want to do.
And that's achievable, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot of work, but yes, it's achievable. The other thing I'm looking at doing is selling sex toys and getting into that whole market, which is, again, a lot of work, but ties in so well with my everything that I'm doing. I really don't know. I've never planned anything. Nothing has ever been planned. I've never had goals. I've never had anything in mind. So a lot of my management hate that. I'm like, we'll just keep doing what we're doing and things happen. The book just happened. Going on tours sort of just happened. Someone just inquired and I was like, yeah, let's do it. I moved to Brisbane on a whim.
That's right, you did too.
I've never planned anything in my life and it's just sort of all fallen into place.
Well, before we let you go, the one thing I think is remarkable what we've learned is how illuminated you are by your OnlyFans association, how much it has uplifted you and how much you've fallen in love with yourself as a result of doing that. That's huge.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's massive. I'm just so thrilled. It was an unexpected sort of side effect or a symptom of doing OnlyFans was just, it's like a whole new perception of myself, which I am thrilled because I really did go, oh God, I'm ugly. Like, why would people want to come over and have a bit of fun? Now I'm like, God, of course they do.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Obviously, yeah.
That's so good. But I wonder if if we went on OnlyFans and we put content up and then nobody joined us, not that we're putting up naked content, but would that then have the opposite effect on your confidence? Do you know what I mean?
If you're getting shit engagement.
Yeah.
Well, it depends how you go about it. If you're trying to be sly and sneaky and you don't want to share too much or you don't want to do too much, people aren't going to join because you're trying to cater for... You're then trying to go into the feet market with everyone else, whereas, you're Grant and Chezzy. That's who you need to be marketing your OnlyFans as.
How often do you need to
Yes, we're just doing...
How often do you need to be putting out material?
Oh... Great question. I love it so much. I post almost every day, something every day, whether it be just a poll or stories or just a photo, and then there's some video content. Ideally, if people are paying, you want to go minimum once a week.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's given us our plan, Christian Hull. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for opening yourself up so intimately for us.
I'll open myself up anytime for either of you.
And guess what, listeners? You didn't have to pay for a single second. It was free. Complete Drivel is your podcast. Complete Drivel. You can find him there. You can find him on Insta. You can find him on OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Just do OnlyFans.
You can find him at your house in 5 minutes if you DM him correctly.
Yes, and I'm in Brisbane.
And you've got new merch coming out. You've got hoodies and...
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Oh,
Yep.
Now I'm like, I've got to go back to work now. Don't remind me.
You've
Don't
got a whole
remind me.
empire.
Just want to get naked and I just want to earn a shit ton of... I want to earn like $500,000 a month from doing this. Some people do. Like Anna Paul, who's probably the most famous Australian OnlyFans person, has to be earning like $200,000 or $300,000 a month.
Yeah, that was the other person that was
Who's Anna
mentioned
Paul?
in that story that I told prior to him coming on. Yeah, the girl who's upped it from 150 to 300. She was using Anna Paul as a reference.
Right.
So
Yes, that's the clip I watched.
Did you see that
that's
recently?
exactly the clip that I watched. Yeah, and that's why I based it. I was like, if she's earning that much money, Anna Paul's got to be earning that much money.
Yeah.
And through TikTok. So Anna Paul has become super famous on TikTok for her style of content. And then She makes her money on OnlyFans. So those two go hand in hand. Before I go, though, you do need to get a Twitter, just a separate Twitter dedicated for promoting your OnlyFans and hashtagging in there. Because have you discovered Twitter porn? It is
What?
amazing. And so that's how you'll be discovered. That's how your OnlyFans will get shared and discovered by a lot more people, is if you're promoting it on Twitter.
Okay.
Right. Well, I don't even like Twitter because everybody on Twitter seems really cranky.
Yeah, they're awful.
And angry.
They're awful
They're
people.
cranky, awful, and horny, as it turns out.
You're very horny.
Maybe
Yes.
that's why they're cranky and angry.
We'll let you go, great man. We love your work. You take care.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on. We love you.
See you, buddy. Well, that's big
Oh,
news.
my God.
That's given us a plan and a
Well,
half.
it's also big news that George has a girlfriend.
We can't brush over this. And I don't want to put the spotlight on you too much because that's a lot of pressure for a young bloke who's newly in love. But give us the dates.
Was it
Yeah,
the
look,
moustache?
I may as well. This is pretty exciting. I think I caught up with you guys over the Christmas break. Oh, by the way, before we go on, I think we should maybe do a photo of Grant's foot caressing the gold logie.
Oh, yes.
Well, someone did jokingly refer to it as the golden butt plug. So that gives us an idea where this could go, everyone.
We're not going to put
do that.
nakeds up.
Jesus
Oh, my
Christ,
God.
no.
I don't even like nakeds of myself.
I was
But he's
enjoying
a-
the chat with Christian Hull, but there's no way in hell I'm doing any of that shit.
No,
No
but-
way. I'm glad for him. I love the fact that he's doing it. That's
Same.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm secretly relieved that I don't have to be your guinea pig and put naked photos up either. So I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But you have been...
You just spent 50 minutes sweating,
Dressing.
thinking this is where it's going to be going. No, we would never do that to you, bro.
And
Signed up to 4 gyms just to get fit.
the whole world has seen your naked body when you did the...
Yeah, on the steps
Oh,
of the
the
Opera
steps,
House. That was
yeah.
live on television. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, but we could do like a really cool photo of your butt cheek that doesn't have a pimple, from behind.
well, I kind of feel like how he felt like before he did that. I don't particularly like my body. I don't have a great feeling about my body. It doesn't give me a great feeling. So maybe I should do it for those reasons. Because look, he'd struggled so much with how he thought of himself, and to see him flip that around is pretty impressive.
He's amazing. Yeah.
It's a great story.
Because when I first met him, he was a shy, really reserved. He'd been really badly bullied.
And he'd almost apologised how awkward he was. You know what I mean? Like he would front foot just like, I'm sorry I'm this way. This is just... And he would just apologise constantly. So to see someone find their strength...
I love that. Because I also saw
cool.
him be, stripped down by somebody that was...
Yeah, we witnessed a lot, and
was disgusting.
That reduces a lot of people, and then not everyone can recover from
No.
episodes like that. I think we've all, particularly if you're older, you've often been through a workplace or an office where you maybe weren't treated that well, whether it be by a boss or other colleagues, or it's a shit feeling.
Not everybody is humble, and not everybody is nice. That's
And sometimes the aggressors take advantage of the humble and nice ones.
They do.
And yeah. Anyway, back to you, mate.
Yeah, back to this. Hang
No,
on.
I don't know. We can't ask questions. That's unfair.
No, hold on.
It's
Just-
fresh love.
Yeah, how long has it been happening, and have you known?
So
her for- is she-
we've been seeing each other. Okay, I'll go from the start. So she's been a fan of this podcast for about 2 years now.
Oh, that's
Wow.
nerve-wracking.
How did you
It
connect?
was a little bit
How did you connect?
through the DMs on Instagram.
Yeah, good stuff.
So she's listened to this podcast for about 2 years. She's known of me for about 2 years and slid in. And funny that we speak about the Mo at the start of the episode, because the first message she sent me was, there's something about a seedy Mo with the love heart eyes.
Ooh, good.
So one thing leads to another. We're texting back and forth. We've got a bit of similar banter. We're enjoying it. We realize that I'm in Rockhampton. She's in Brisbane. Oh, next time we're nearby, we'll have to catch up. I went down to you guys in Christmas and said I was, chatting to somebody, a fan of the podcast, and said we're going to, try and catch up and go from there. And we caught up in Harvey Bay over the Christmas break, and one thing led to another, and we're official.
Oh my God! Yay!
So
So the podcast actually got you a date.
it genuinely got me a date. It got me a girlfriend. And
If this
crazy.
podcast never wins an award, never ever goes ahead and finishes tomorrow, at least one good thing has come from all of these 7 seasons is that we found George love.
Yeah. Well, he actually
It's
found
crazy.
it himself, really. But
That's true.
oh my god,
it's wild. It's very, very, very weird.
So you're doing a long distance relationship?
What was that? Sorry?
Long distance relationship?
It was at the start, and now we have moved in.
Whoa! What?
oh my god, what?
Yeah, that escalated. Oh my god.
Just
So
Guys, when you
she's
know,
the
you
room
know.
next door, not
Since-
just because she's visiting you.
no,
This
she's
is-
living there.
When you know, you know. I've had a lot of people have a very similar reaction to that. And some people say, you know, I met my wife of 20 years after a week of knowing her and we moved in. There's been a lot of really positive and not a whole heap of negative around that. So it's fast. It's bloody
Oh, mate.
fast.
Can I
But
just
you know
ask-
what? Embrace
No
it. I
judgment
love
here,
it.
brother.
No,
Love
yeah, no
comes in different shapes, sizes, times, and forms.
Can I just
However
ask-
it happens, it happens.
Does she have long hair and really nice eyes? Isn't that what Flavia said?
Yeah, she has long brown hair, blue eyes.
That's what Flavia said, didn't
I
she?
think you're right. I think
have to
Flavia.
listen back.
was
Flavia
our
did say there was
psychic.
going to be 2 failed relationships before the one, though, but we'll leave that detail out, okay?
Well,
You've had 2 previous
Yeah,
failed
you have.
relationships before, though, haven't
We'll
you?
put it down to that. I think that's exactly what it was. Yes, 2.
there's a stalk outside our window.
Oh my
that means
God, there
new
is a
beginnings.
No, that means there's a baby on the way.
Flavia did say 2 kids. Oh, shit.
Hey!
Oh my god!
Oh, this is a
classic.
lot to
Oh my
digest.
God. Wow, I'm so happy for you, and you can
Thank
tell.
you.
This
I'm very
means
happy too.
You're technically off now the OnlyFans explicit bandwagon because he's off the market.
100%. Yeah, it's wild. Absolutely insane.
Well,
it's
actually-
been good fun, though.
Okay, does she have
Maybe-
nice feet?
Yeah,
Can
that's
we-
what I was about to say. Maybe like we introduce her to our audience by putting up a photo of your feet together
Yeah, that's cute.
on OnlyFans.
Well, we were at the beach the other day and she did mention we should do some foot content just by the sand and the waves through the finger
Well,
or the toenails.
Well, as he said, mate, you got to create little scenes, whether it be stomping on a cake, you know,
eating an ice cream.
at
I
the-
liked that.
eating an ice cream, sucking on your own toe. These mate, at the beach would have been primo.
What about treading
I
on
do
a,
love the cake idea. That'd taste nice.
What about treading on a cat's head?
Ooh,
Prickle.
That's it's kind of like for the naughty fetishes.
It hurts.
Yeah, it does
I'm
hurt.
not
We do
doing
that
that.
all the time outside when we go.
Oh, that's awful.
Well, that's big news, brother. We're very excited for you. We're
Thank
super
you.
happy.
Yeah.
Super happy. No wonder you've had a different glow the last couple
you
of
have.
weeks. You
I've noticed
sneaky
that.
devil.
I thought it was the hypnotist last week.
No, that was very good too. Very, very good. I felt very happy after that. But I did self-care Sunday yesterday. Something I wouldn't have done if I was single. So, you know, getting the face mask on and the hair mask. Can you notice my hair's a bit shinier and
Yes.
fluffier than usual?
Looks really good.
God, this sounds like a bloke who's just found a bird.
Oh my god, has
Face
she met?
masks.
Has she met
You'll be
Lisa?
painting nails together next.
Has she met?
She's met Lisa. She's met, most of the family. So I'm heading out to her family home this weekend after this episode airs. So
Oh my gosh,
all exciting.
that is. But has she met your Nen, the one that tried to push me out of the road to like snuggle up with Grant?
not yet. And
Right.
due to that reason,
Yeah,
she's
right.
a very full-on woman.
She's got strong views. She knows what she likes. Oh, mate, super pumped for you, brother. That's big news. Big
That is
news
big
for the It's
news.
All True family.
Yeah.
It is, yes. No, still keep the DMs coming in though. You can still chat to me. I'm just taken now. Single 40-year-old mums with kids.
Oh, well, there goes all my content with the fake voices.
That
Remember
was
I was like-
exceptional though. I fully believed it.
Oh, my
that's right.
kids heard that the other day. They were looking for for a
Is this
song.
when we were
for
pretending
Sailor.
we had recorded messages from people?
Yes. Remember, and I was
It was
like,
just you doing different voices.
Tina, remember? And I couldn't do it without laughing. Yeah, my kids found it the other day. They were like, who is that? And I said, oh, that's Mum. Oh,
The podcast has a new feel now, doesn't it?
it does.
It's just, I don't know, it just feels brighter and lighter. I smell
does.
roses. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the colours are clearer. It's just, the
That's
world's just a better
beautiful.
place as a result of this news, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do like a 10 rapid fire questions with her and play it next episode just to get to know
Yes, slowly, like
no pressure,
drip feed.
but you have to do that.
Yeah. Yes.
Just like the OnlyFans feet pics.
Yes.
Oh, mate, we'll
Love
let
it.
you get back to doing your little cheeky little snuggles and cuddles.
Oh, that's nice. And we'll just hang out in our separate bedrooms. We had to get the carpet cleaned, so Grant, can move back in now.
Oh, thankfully, no one's vomited in the last 24 hours. So,
No.
after 8 days, it's probably time for me to move back into my bed.
Yeah.
So was that the point of getting a professional carpet cleaner in to actually really do something to it?
Oh, it was like a goddamn murder scene in
yeah.
there. It was fucked. It
Because
was just...
it doesn't matter if you give a kid a bowl and you sit it in front of them, like our child just, misses every time. So,
How about we put that on OnlyFans? Like the stuff that nobody ever is going to see, that's where we can put it.
wow, that
What
is
if there's
true.
a subcategory for vomit?
Oh, yuck, it makes me feel
Probably
sick.
is. Thanks for listening, everyone. That was
Thanks,
good fun.
everyone.
We'll catch you next time.
See you on OnlyFans.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shezzy Denya.
Bye bye.